In this video, we're checking out an awesome legal duplex conversion in Orangeville. The numbers on this property are great. The house is great. Check it out. Okay, so we're out here in the snow. I'm with rockstar investing coach Matt James, and Matt is an investor in the Orangeville area. He's kind of really taken over this area, and he's got this awesome single-family home, which was a non-conforming duplex that he's converted to a duplex. We're in the middle of construction here still, but we're gonna walk through this home. What's this project all about?
It's just about making something that was illegal, legal now, and making things right in the property, bringing things up to today's standards, making sure the tenants are gonna be happy that are living here, and just really, protecting your own future.
Yeah, awesome. So we're gonna tour through the units. We'll share the numbers at the end of this video.
All right, let's go on in. Digital keypad, obviously, tenants forget the keys, lock themselves out. We like having a code that they can use, a one-time code to get themselves back in if they can't lose their own keys. And for contractors coming in as well too. That's key. So the main reason I love these houses, it's a bit of a weird floor plan. They're built in '67 and they put two doors side by side entering into the same room, which makes no sense as a single family home. But as a duplex conversion, works really well. Throw up two walls really quick and right away you have two separated apartments. So in doing so, we added a half bath on this side of the wall right here. To the other side, we added a laundry closet, so they have their own ensuite laundry, coat closet here. And then this guy here, this is actually the headroom for the stairs that go down to the basement apartment, but we didn't actually have the correct fire resistance rating. So the town, in our application process, made us add an extra sheet of 1/2-inch drywall to get the correct fire resistance. Plus the actual quartz countertop that will go on, and that seems to meet today's standards.
So Matt was kind of stuck doing this to reach the proper levels with the city for the conversion with the drywall here, but he's making the best of the situation like any good investor, putting a kitchen countertop to match the rest of this beautiful kitchen here, and it's just like more counter space that looks really intentional for the people when they move in. So like that's awesome. And then these duplex conversion projects especially are all about creating the highest value and bringing the property to its highest use case. So here, this was just like empty wall space before, but Matt utilized, this space here, which was kind of wasted entryway space, to create laundry, to create a closet, and then a half bathroom here when it was just like the stupid entrance to the basement before. So it's all about just like making the best use of space.
So this is actually a Lowe's kitchen. The reason I like these ones is they're pre-assembled. All you have to do is put the doors on them, drill in your hardware onto them, but they're really cost effective. They seem to hold up really well. They're all nice, soft close drawers. And the thing for me is I've done so many of these now that I have an actual consultant at Lowe's that kind of knows the floor plan that we usually go after. And she's really good at really putting it all together and making the process as seamless as possible.
So you're always using the same floor plan in the same kitchen?
Pretty much, yeah. All the houses that we own are one of two floor plans. So basically now we're just running off the drawings now of what we need for kitchens.
So you just have this cookie cutter approach where you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, and it makes things super easy that way. It's less time spent getting drawings, putting it all together, figuring things out. It really, like I say, streamlines the process. Yeah. So the last thing I really like about this kitchen is we've done them so many times, we really know the numbers. It's about $5,900, just shy of $6,000, which is really nice, including tax. And the countertops, we use the same company as well. For this one, it's about 750 square foot, including quartz backsplash, and it's about $2,900 right there. So we really know our numbers, and it really makes figuring out the numbers on these projects at the end of the day a lot easier to figure out what your cash flow is going to be and make sure it's profitable. So this is about the state of the house when we bought it. Really grimy, grungy, disgusting. But I actually feel better about doing a full gut to a house like this than something that's recently been done but not quite where we need it to be for a duplex. You feel not quite as guilty at the end of the day.
Because you feel like you're wasting the materials, like the nice finishings that person had.
Exactly. It's all going to the landfill regardless. So I'd rather it be something that's definitely had its day and is ready to go. And
you're also paying more for that house because of those finishes.
Yeah, it's got nicer finishes, so it's actually going to cost more at the end of the day, which then impact your cash flow at the end of the day.
So how do you know that behind like a gross, nasty, dirty old house, that the bones are still good for the conversion?
It's a little bit of a gamble. I know this area really well myself, so I know kind of what's going to be behind the walls, but there is always that gamble. You never exactly know, but it's part of real estate investing, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's something you've grown into.
Exactly, yeah. Something you just got to be comfortable being a little uncomfortable. So with these duplex conversions, I find the easiest thing to do is just completely redo all the electrical. In that, we have Orangeville Hydro bring over another 100 amp to the house, and we put 2 meters on the outside and 2 electrical panels. One, it stops tenants from calling each other or yourself in the middle of the night if a breaker trips and they don't have to figure out how to get into the other apartment, especially if the people aren't there. And then for the second point, for the investor, it makes things easier because you don't have to take a bill and split it 50-50 if utilities are not included or are included. They can be directly billed for 100% of their own usage.
So why are the wires still up here in the box instead of maybe being hidden behind the wall?
So on this one, it's actually an exterior wall, and with this being the primary bedroom for this house, if we were to sink the panel into this wall along with all the wiring, we'd have to actually remove all the insulation in the wall to fit it in, which then when everything's finished, it's going to create a cold spot in the room, and it's going to be colder for the actual occupant. So by putting it on this side, we can leave all the insulation in the wall, build an MDF box around this. They will still have access to their electrical should they need it, but the room stays nice and warm in the wintertime.
So you do this anytime you're putting a panel on an exterior
Exactly.
wall?
I think it's the best thing to do, unless you can put it in an interior wall. Unfortunately, on this property, it doesn't work because the other panel for the other apartment is directly beneath us. So it made sense for it to stay in the same spot just for wires, but unfortunately, it landed on an exterior wall, so it made sense to mount it on the interior of the exterior wall. Okay, guys, let's go check out this basement. So right here, this is the entrance to the basement apartment. This was previously a walkthrough to the main floor. The other door we came in is just on the other side of this wall. This is the 2-piece bath and the closet right here for coming downstairs.
Okay, so what was the layout of this basement unit before, and what's it going to be after this reno?
It previously didn't make a lot of sense. It was a 1-bed with a weird kitchen eating up the whole living room. No egress windows. It didn't make a lot of sense as an apartment. So we've moved the kitchen over to the other wall to make this a bigger living dining area. It's nice to have more space. People are just happier that way.
Yeah.
There was no egress windows, so we tripled, and some of these even quadrupled the size to bring in more light, but to go well above the 1 egress window you need in these apartments. Right here, this was one huge mechanical room, absolutely a complete waste of space. So we moved the bathroom from down the other side to here, which will have a nice walk-in shower. But in doing so, that gave us another room to have another bedroom, which can actually increase our cash flow numbers. This right here is the room where the bathroom previously was. So the town's just been in, they've inspected all the plumbing for all the cap lines and everything. We can now re-pour the concrete in and get to make it a bedroom.
Okay, so what were the numbers on this property?
This one right here, it was purchase price of $625,000.
August this
August
year,
15th.
2023?
Yeah, we got it August 15th. Yep. Started construction August 18th. We were about 2 or 3 weeks away from completion, so we should be able to rent it out pretty soon.
That's a pretty quick turnaround.
It is, yeah. We've got a great group of guys. They know exactly what we're looking for. Basically, all we have to do now is pick the finishes of everything, which is nice.
And this is the same crew you've worked with in the past on these
All our
exact
houses.
same duplex
all our
conversion.
houses. Yeah. There's two different floor plans, and they really know what we're looking for and exactly what the goal is at the end of the day, which just makes it easier for everybody. There's no confusion.
Okay, and what do you think the total rental cost is going to come in at?
We should be about 140,000. I'm going to say probably at the end of the day, adding in a little bit of extras. So at 625 purchase, we should be about 765, somewhere in there, maybe even a little bit less. But this thing should be worth about 850 when we're done. So
Okay.
there is definitely some equity to pull out after we're done this project.
And is that the plan? You're going to refinance,
Yeah,
recycle the money
Yeah, we'll pull the money out of this and use it for a down payment on the next property.
on the next one? And
Yeah.
And is that how you've grown up to this
This
point?
is every single time, yeah. So we bought our first one, my wife and I. We lived in upstairs. We did the basement, got some rent there. The property went up in value in the meantime. Refinanced that one, moved to our next. We actually moved down the road into that house, did the exact same thing into the next, But now it's nice. Now it's at the point where all the properties are all going up in value all the time, so you can pull equity out of them, which then just that equity alone, we don't need to continue to move from house to house. We can just keep recycling that money into doing just sole projects as themselves.
Okay. What do you think the rent numbers on this are going to be?
Upstairs will be $2,550 plus utilities, and then downstairs should be about $2,250. It's a bit of a slower time of year, so they'll be a little bit less than that maybe. But when you look at our mortgage numbers, property taxes and insurance, this property should have anywhere from $1,200 to $1,400 a month in positive cash flow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And then why are you so confident in these rent numbers that you're going to get?
We own a bunch of properties in this neighborhood, so we know exactly what they're going to be. And all of our tenants are great, and they all know that there's a lot of value in these homes and their apartments.
Okay, so the big lesson learned for me in this video is seeing what Matt's done is he's become an area expert on this one street in particular. And he knows all the layouts of the homes. He's got the same construction crew. He knows all his numbers going in. He doesn't have to make all these decisions on the kitchen and appliances. Like, you already have all that figured out. And you know exactly what the property is going to be worth, what the conversion costs, what it's going to rent out for.
Yeah.
He's just got a cookie cutter repeatable system that he just talked about, and how he grew his portfolio. And Matt's only how old?
31. Yeah.
31.
It doesn't need to be complicated. That's the thing I've learned. Like, if you can repeat it over and over again, the cash flow will come with it, whether it's complicated or not. So why overcomplicate things for yourself?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Cookie cutter.
man.